All right. Now, as this is not a political song, but I learned it from the Electra Folk Jazz Pop Sampler, and it's was originally, I think, in 1955, recorded by Theodore Bikel on Folk Songs of Israel. Okay, and as I'll give you the translation first, so that you're excited. As it says, burst forth in song, let's shear the sheep. Assemble all the shepherds. Rejoice, good fellow, on this night. It's the feast of sheep shearing in our village. Strip the sheep, the herds. There's joy in the villages. Strip the hoofed ones with the shears. To the sound of song, double flute and lute. Play the flute. Gather round, ye shepherds, come hither. There's feasting in the house of Naval the Carmelite. I don't think that's a monk. I think tis a feast of great import that we're celebrating. Play the flute, not the fruit. Sorry. And so that's the translation, and it goes like this. I learned this the song, the sound early in most of the words. Stash basemer dus hasemer heas urei hatson samak hagel bin alay shakalel bi farmao pashtu kaski ararim ararim bakfarim pashtu bashlep le haflep bekol bezugusu akalele hay hay lili akalele hay hay lili Spacha semer goza semer e asure hatson some size yenalai with the Bishparmaon. Yes, okay. Yasu Hatsuoli Atser Hase Ele Nabal Akamali Harabeshev Zehavdep Chayru Kehason Halili Hailili Halili. And I'll skip the repeat of the last stanza. Okay.
Okay. Oh, I never did mute myself. Good, I was quiet. So the shepherds are getting pretty old when some assembly is required.
That's true.
Yes.
It was a choice, by the way, as this song or the one that I learned from Le Troubadour du Roi Baudouin, called as Mang Pani Fulele. Mang Mani Fulele. Someone like this, but I can't find the lyrics to that, or I haven't tried.
There's a neat thing on the internet somewhere that's a history of Elektra Records and all the stories of Jack. What was Jack's last
Jack
name?
Holtzman.
Holtzman, yeah.
St. John's class of 1950.
Oh, really? Yeah. So,
The first office, the first mailing address for Elektra Records was a place called Archie's Smoke Shop on Maryland Avenue. It was an accommodation address that Archie let Jack use because he was actually running the company out of his Pinckney dorm room.
Yeah, well, this has quite a number of stories like that. Anyway, I think we should go to Stuart. Stuart's going to run out on us pretty early, so we better let him play. I'm muting everyone. And now it's time for Stuart.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, this one I came across, I mentioned it a couple of to Terry and Jim a bit earlier. There was a song I saw Pete Seeger sing at the beginning of a movie I'd not seen before, which was a 1970 movie called Tell Me That You Love Me, Junie Moon. Otto Preminger, Lisa Minnelli, and they feature Pete Seeger totally congruously, stuck in at the end to sing a song and stuck in at the end to sing the same song. And to me, as part of Otto Preminger had this kind of mission in the 60s of getting all the blacklisted people and given them some Hollywood credibility again, which is a pretty bold thing to do. He did it with writers and actors and with Pete. And this song called Old Devil Time seems at first like a typical Pete Seeger song, as kind of like you put any first line in and you repeat the chorus kind of thing. Then I realized that looking at it further, that it's really quite a revolutionary song. You know, what a true revolutionary is, because he's not interested in the first instance. His focus is not on winning the war, not in winning the battle. It's about having the strength to fight one more time, which is what the line of this song is. So here it goes, Old Devil Time. Old devil time, I'm gonna fool you now. Old devil time, you'd like to bring me down. When I'm feeling low, my lovers gather round and help me rise to fight you one more time. Oh devil fear, you with your icy hands. Oh devil fear, you'd like to freeze me cold. When I'm so afraid, my lovers gather round and help me rise to fight you one more time. Oh devil pain, you often pin me down. You thought I'd cry and beg you for the end, but at that very time my lovers gather round and help me rise to fight you one more time. Oh devil hate, I knew you long ago. Then I found out the poison in your breath. Now when you hear your lies, oh lovers gather round and help me rise to fight you one more time. No storm or fire can ever beat us down. No wind that blows that carries us further on. And when you fear, oh lovers gather round and we can rise and sing it one more time. No storm or fire can ever beat us down. No wind that blows but carries us further on. And you feel, oh lovers gather round and we can rise and sing it one more time. Yes, we can rise and sing it one more time.
Yeah, Pete Seeger, yeah, and Stuart, double yeah. Thank you.
Well, I think I'll follow that with a Pete Seeger song. How about
Oh, what a
that?
good idea. What a good idea.
Okay. This is a song that actually I learned fairly recently. It's been around since 1949, and it was actually the lyrics were written by Lee Hayes, and the tune was written by Pete Seeger. And I'm going to try to be true to the Pete Seeger banjo style on this, which is the basic strum that we all learned on the Folkways instruction album, How to Play the Five-String Banjo by Pete Seeger. So the background on this is that it was written in '49 after they had gone to this big picnic and labor rally and concert by Paul Robeson, which in Peekskill, New York, which was attacked by thugs and you broke their car windows and beat people up and all sorts of stuff. And so naturally, Lee and Pete went home and wrote a really optimistic song. it's a little sobering to think that the future they were singing about in 49 years is here. It's not quite how Pete and Lee envisioned it, but there's still hope, and it's a hopeful song, and we need that sort of thing anyway. So I think we can sing it again. And it's called Tomorrow is a Highway. Oh, tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the many who will travel there. Yes, tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the workers who will travel, build it there. And we will build it there. Oh, come, let us build. Oh, come, let us build a way for all humankind. A way to leave this evil year behind. To travel onward to a better year, where love is and there will be no fear. Where love is and no fear. Oh, now is the shadowed year when evil men, when men of evil thunder war again. Shall tyrants once again be free to tread above our most brave and honored dead? Our brave and honored dead. Oh, comrades, come and travel on with me. We'll go to our new year of liberty.
Stop the
Feel
revolution.
better?
Well done. Well done.
You know, Terry, when you introduced that as occasioned by the Peekskill riot, I thought it was going to be the song that Lee wrote with the poet Walter Lowenfels. Wasn't that a time?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's another one. Yeah, I got Lee
Oh, I
going.
love that one.
Well done.
So next we have Jim.
All righty.
You know, wasn't that a time? That would be nice. But
No, I'm not going to do what I'm actually going to do. A request for one of you.
Okay, I am muting first. Ready for Jim?
All right, I was requested to learn this one, so here it goes. When first I came to London in the year of 39, the city looked so wonderful and the girls were so divine. But the coppers got suspicious and they soon gave me the knock. I was charged with being the owner of an old alarm clock. Next morning down by Marlborough Street, I caused no little stir. The IRA were busy and the telephones did burr. Says the judge, I'm going to charge you with the possession of this machine, and I'm also going to charge you with the wearing of the green. Well, says I, now judge your honor, if you'll give me half a chance, I'll show you how my small machine can make the peelers dance. It ticks away quite pleasantly till you gets an awful shock when it ticks away the Jelligan night in me old alarm clock. The judge says, listen here, my man, I'll tell you of our plan. For you and all your countrymen, I do not give a damn. The only time you'll take is mine, 10 years in Dartmoor dock, and you can count it by the ticking of your old alarm clock. Now, this lonesome Dartmoor city, it would give a man the jig. The cell, it isn't pretty and it isn't very big. Still, I'd long ago have left the place if I had only got a couple of sticks of gelignite and me old alarm clock.
Yay! Up the revolution!
Very good.
Nothing like a cheerful Irish song about terrorist bombing.
That's
Exactly.
right. Don't get alarmed, everyone.
And avoid the Jelliganite.
Jellican,
The
yes.
Jelliconite.
Alarmists.
Was that what the Jellico cat was made out of? But I don't know.
Love your cat on the fridge there.
Oh,
There goes
hello,
Stuart.
yes.
Goodbye.
his sister's on the ground. They're a pair.
Okay,
Right,
let's
right.
see. Next on the agenda is Dave Polchek. I'm muting everyone.
Come here.
I'm going to play a concertina.
Ready for Dave?
Well, one good Irish tune deserves another. So there's lots of Irish dance music, jigs, reels, hornpipes, slip jigs, single jigs, slides. There are a few that are nice little tunes called mazurkas, which you don't expect to see Irish musicians playing mazurkas, but here's a couple that are very nice. One of them is called Sonny Brogan's Mazurka, and the other one's called Jackie Lennon's Mazurka.
Very nice. Oh, that didn't mute myself. I gotta watch that. And I see Karen Polachek. I think I see her room. I saw Karen for a moment. Are you gonna do a tune for us?
I want to, but I can't get my video to come on.
I'll still hear
Oh,
it.
your video's on. It's, you know what? I bet you switched it to going forward instead of going backwards.
There's a little selfie
I
button.
can't even.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is where it's standing when I'm doing it.
There's a little button that switches it to the back camera from the front.
Oh, you're on the participants thing.
I don't have it off of it.
Let's close.
No, I don't see anything.
Okay, hold on.
One more here.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to mute everyone in anticipation of a tune from Karen.
Good try.
Okay. All ready anytime. You're still muted and you're looking the other direction again.
Okay, yeah. Now. Uh-oh. Are you unmuted, David?
I'm muted now.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna do Darlin' Corey. You can sing with me, right? Wake up, darling Corey. What makes you sleep so sound? Them revenue officers are coming for to tear your still house down. Wake up. Honey, this is the wrong key for me. It's totally the wrong key. You have to lower it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we're in the wrong key. Nothing but trouble here, nothing but trouble. That sure is a pretty capo. Didn't we decide to do this in F?
Try this.
Wake up, darling Corey. What makes you sleep so sad? I can't, honey. I guess, guys, I can't do it. I can't sing today. Let's see. Can you put it in F like we had discussed earlier? No?
After the tune.
Well, don't then. You go ahead and do it. You do it without me.
It's not my turn.
Well, oh. You got to find the right key. I'm sorry, everybody.
That's all right.
This is what happens.
That's all right. It happens to all of us once in a while. Okay.
Tell you what, y'all go on and find somebody else, and I'll join in later.
We're moving along to Jeffrey Hall. If Jeffrey's still
Moving to
here,
Jeffrey
he is.
Hall.
Okay, I'm muting
We should have
everybody.
practiced this one. It's all yours.
All ready.
Okay, I'm gonna play my viola if that's all right. So, this first one is called the 7-Step Dance, and it's a Norwegian folk dance, and it's in the key of A. And since that was very short, may I play another one? Okay, so this is way past May Day, but it's still May. And on May Day we were doing like workers' songs. So anyway, this is called the Maypole Dance. It's a Lithuanian folk song, and it is also in the key of A. Thank you.
Very nice viola. And now it's time for Al. Christian, would you like to do one? I'm going to mute everybody. Muting all. Muting us.
I think I unmuted about 12 microseconds too soon. You got me, but I got you back. Okay, I'm kind of at a loss for what to do, so I'll do a song from Down Your Way. I learned this from the real deal from Bill Lister down in Bernie, Texas. Give me an RC cola and a moon pie, play me full on the hill. I catch that freight train on the fly, leave my corn down at the mill. For I sold my calf for $1.50, somebody I can pay my bill. Give me an RC cola and a moon pie, play me full on the hill. Fighting saplings all day long, clearing pipes through ground. I'll be quitting before long, going into town. I may be just a country boy, but buddy, I can get a thrill from an RC cola and a moon pie, play maple on the hill. Give me an RC cola and a moon pie, play maple on the hill. I'll leave. Get that freight train on the fly, lay my corn down at the mill. For I sold my calf for $1.50, so buddy, I can pay my bill. Give me orange seed, coal, and a moon pie, lay maple on the hill. Got a brand new pair of overalls, brogans greased and shine. I'll let you know I did it all for that gal of mine. We'll dance all night in broad daylight, we'll find us going still. With an RC coal and a moon pie, say maple on the hill. Give me an RC coal and a moon pie, say maple on the hill. Well, I catch that freight train on the fly, lay my corn down at the mill. For I sold my calf for $1.50, buddy, I can pay my bill. Give me an RC coal and a moon pie, lay maple on the hill.
That's great. Where does that one come from?
Well, I got it from Big Bill Lister. He was
Lister.
He traveled around with Hank Williams. He was Hank's opening act and roommate on the road. And back in the early 50s, when he saw Hank drinking himself to death, he kind of quit, gave up music for a long time. But I met him in the 70s, and when he was trying to start something of a comeback, which never got anywhere. But I was one of the people who threw in some bucks and thus made myself an executive producer of his comeback phonograph record, which sold darn few copies. But anyway, we had a testimonial from Minnie Pearl on the back of the record.
Oh, really? Yeah.
This one's the real thing. This one's Bill Lister. He was the world's.
That's a great story.
He was the world's tallest singing cowboy.
Okay, and welcome to Mike, who's joined us from Seattle there. But next on the list we have Tom, the world poet. I'm going to mute everybody. And ready for Tom, if we can ever be ready for Tom.
Never. This is asking the question, can poetry stop the prevailing wars? And of course, everyone agrees that folk music has stopped every war amongst the musicians. Yeats, that English Irishman, only supported Irish independence when the groundswell lifted all boats. I have heard poems that stopped all prevailing violence, Naomi Shihab Nye singing for every Palestinian civilian. We all recite the Rumi litanies, the Mary Olivers, the Nancy Willards, the Marge Piercy, the D.H. Lawrence. In fact, the repetition of such litanies saves our own lives when contemporary wisdom is a talk show host and philosophy is banned from all curricula. But I still prefer Shams over Rumi, Socrates over Plato, Anonymous over Jesus. Questioning, debate, rhetoric, declamation are lost skills like folk musicians. Browbeating replaces dialogue, accusations over agreement. The beauty of poetry is diversity. None of us have to agree. Go with your God and your battle-rattle certainties. I walk another road with hesitation and uncertainty as Hermann Hesse and Heraclitus guides me. Once I met a woman who believed in Thomas Mann over Hermann Hesse. I protested. I said, Hermann Hesse is the best poet. She replied, don't be too impressed. I slept with him. He slept with everybody. That's it, unless you can take more. So I was at a memorial for a wonderful poet, Sharon Stewart, and I met, Jimmy Dale Gilmore. And of course, when you meet a person from the Flatlanders, you always have to ask them a question. So my question was Allen Ginsberg for real? Yes, he replied, very much so. Because Jimmy had become an accidental Buddhist by studying Hindu scriptures, and this was a real passion of Allen Ginsberg. So when Ginsberg came to Austin and read Book People, it was Jimmy Dale Gilmore who introduced him. Now, we had met before. He had toured Australia with Butch Hancock about 17 times. So we talked Byron Bay and Mullumbimby, and he smiled. He only ate a thin plate of ethical vegetables. He shared his heritage as Comanche and Mescalero Apache, all his grandmothers indigenous. He had known Sharon Stewart biblically and liked her spirit, And this was why he was here in San Marcos on Hopkins Street with 100 others similarly persuaded. He did not speak publicly. He found and shared Sharon's books that sang to him. This accidental Buddhist harms no human being and lives thinly in Texas on the air of a new song. May many more be soon. Thanks for listening. Jimmy Dale Gilmore, accidental Buddhist.
Thank you, Tom. I see we've been joined by a new person, Storm. Is that your name?
Yes.
And where are you joining us from?
Greenfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, well, welcome to you. And we'll put you on the list here.
Thank you.
And we'll get to you real soon because we're on the end of the list already. So we're going to move along to Mary Jane. I'm going to mute everybody. This is the way we do it, by the way, Storm. We mute everybody and then you unmute yourself. So muting everyone and ready for Mary Jane. And she will unmute and play her kazoo.
I'm also playing a ukulele. And I'm going to do a Guy Clark song. I didn't realize how old this thing was. It dates back to 1972. That was like 49 years ago. But it holds up, I think. It still seems like something that could be written today about moving. It's called LA Freeway. Pack up all of your dishes, make a note of all good wishes, say goodbye to the landlord for me, that son of a bitch has always bored me, throw out them LA papers, that moldy box of vanilla wafers, adios to all this concrete, gonna get me some dirt road back street. If I can just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught, I'll be down the road in a cloud of smoke to some land that I ain't bought. And here's to you, old skinny Dennis, the only one I think I will miss. I can hear that old bass singing, sweet and low like a gift you're bringing. Play it for me one more time now. Got to give it all we can now. I believe everything you're saying. Just you keep on playing. If I can just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught, I'll be down the road in a cloud of smoke to some land that I ain't bought. Put the pink card in the mailbox, leave the key in the old front door lock. They'll find it likely as not. I'm sure there's something we have forgot. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry, babe. Love's a gift that's surely handmade. We got something to believe in. Don't you think it's time we're leaving? If I can just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught, I'll be down the road in a cloud of smoke to some land that I ain't bought. So pack up all of your dishes, make a note of all good wishes, say goodbye to the landlord for me, that son of a bitch has always bored me.
Thank you, Mary Jane. That's nice.
And thank you for listening.
You got a tune for us, Mike? I'm going to mute
Sure.
everybody. I hope so. Ready for you.
Alrighty. So I'll sing this now. I'll apologize because in about 15 minutes I got to head out to link up with a Zoom with some of my family members, including my brother in Dallas, sort of close. Sometimes his daughter, who's in she's in your town, which I'm blocking the name on all of a sudden. Anyway, is there too. But that's nothing about the song. Just me apologizing for not getting to hear you. But I'll go with Mr. Bojangles by Jerry Jeff Walker. Let's see, original sound. Here we go. I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you in worn out shoes, silver hair and ragged shirt and baggy pants, the old soft shoe. He jumped so high, then it lightly touched down. I met him in a cell in New Orleans. I was down and out. He looked to me to be the eyes of age as he spoke right out. He talked of life, lightly slept his leg and stepped. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles dance. He said his name, Bojangles, and he danced a lick across the cell. He grabbed his pants for a better stance. He jumped so high, and he clicked his heels. He let go a laugh, shook back his clothes all around. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles dance. He danced for those at minstrel shows and county fairs throughout the South. He spoke of tears of 15 years I was dogging him. They traveled about. His dog up and died. He up and died. After 20 years he still grieves. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles dance. They say I dance now at every chance and honky-tonk for drinks and tips, but most of the time I spend behind these county bars 'cause I drinks a bit. He shook his head, and as he shook his head, I heard someone ask him, please, please, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles dance.
A classic and nicely done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that mountain in your background St. Helens?
Yes. Yeah, it's the this week was the 41-year anniversary of it blowing its top.
Oh, really? I was in Portland at the time.
Ah.
It was a unique experience. Everything was gray, and we all wore masks.
I was living in Salt Lake City at the time, and I moved up to Seattle September of that year.
That was
and all my
40
friends
years
thought I
ago?
was crazy because were sure I was going to get blown away by a volcano or something. But
Yeah. There's some, you know, it really changed the shape of the mountain too. And there's
yeah.
nothing that kind of gets you disoriented like the actual horizon changing, you know,
Oh wow.
huge physical features going away overnight. And it's something I won't forget. I can't believe
Yeah,
it's
it's
more than
like
40 years ago, though. My gosh.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you
it's
think
like
about
when the
how much earth came out of there and
Oh,
smoke,
yeah. I mean,
ash, and everything. It's
piles and
just
piles of it.
Yeah,
yeah.
that picture you got is taken from like this from the east side. If that hole was in the direction of Portland, most of the buildings in Portland would have collapsed from the ash on the roof.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh, it was bad enough. Take my
Yeah,
word for it.
this was a flyby. I can't remember which trip I was on. I leaned over and said, "Oh, that's a perfect
Hmm.
shot to take."
Well, on a nice day, especially landing in Portland, you can get a lovely view.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's like when the old man in the mountain fell off the mountain in New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire?
Oh wow.
Just
I didn't know
totally
that had happened.
disappeared.
He's still on license plates, right?
He's still on license plates, but he does not exist in nature anymore.
I did
Oh
not
my
know
gosh.
that. You probably knew that. Oh, well. Well, Storm. Huh?
When did he fall off?
I don't know. I'll ask him. Okay. Okay, so it's Storm's turn. If you have a tune or a poem or a song for us, I'm going to mute
Well,
everybody
it's
and we'll
nice
see what
to
happens.
finally
Excuse
it's
me?
nice to finally join you. I started getting your mailings a few months ago, but this is the first time my schedule matched yours. And although it's my first time here, I've literally been on over 1,000 Zoom sings in 7 different countries.
Oh, really? My
And
goodness.
Storm and I
pandemic.
cross paths in
Okay.
multiple places.
Well,
Mike
I'm
and I
going.
He goes to more than I go to, but
Yeah.
we see each other a lot.
I'm going to mute everybody, and then Storm, you'll need to unmute yourself once more now.
Speech. I form the wind's passage with my mouth, and it rushes up from the river of my throat, pushing aside sentinel tonsils, up over the plateau of my tongue, and out between stalactites and stalagmites of calcium. Out of the living cave it dances, a sly gypsy come to bewitch the ear. Well, you know, I look in the shadows, the places the decent won't go. Yes, you know, I look in the shadows. There's beauty there waiting to show. For in every hospital and morgue, or on the wrong side of town, there's a poet, a junkie, a juggler, a priest that society has beaten down. Yes, you know, I look in the shadows, the places the decent won't go. Yes, you know, I look in the shadows. There's beauty there waiting to show. For in every prison yard and bar, on many a park bench and step, there's an artist, an actor, a banker, a kid that society'd rather forget. Yes, you know, I look in the shadows, the places the decent won't go. Yes, you know, I look in the shadows. There's beauty there waiting to show. Yes, you know, I look in the shadows, the places the decent won't go. Yes, you know, I look in the shadows. There's beauty there waiting to show. Yes, you know I look in the shadows. There's beauty there waiting to show.
All right, Storm.
Great. Thank you so much. That was nice. Okay, so we're all the way around the circle and back up to Mark. Do you have another one for us, Mark? Here, I'll mute everybody.
I have a short poem from Old Possum's book.
Okay, I am muting here.
All right.
All ready.
You need to unmute, Mark. Can't hear you.
Unmute, Mark. Unmute.
And then I was muted again. There we go. Okay. This is called Cat Morgan Introduces Himself. I once was a pirate what sailed the high seas, but now I've retired as a commissionaire. And that's how you find me a taking my ease and keeping the door in a Bloomsbury Square. I'm partial to partridges, likewise to grouse, and I favor that Devonshire cream in a bowl, but I'm always content with a drink on the house and a bit of cold fish when I've done me patrol. I ain't got much polish, me manners is gruff, but I've got a good coat and I keep myself smart, and everyone says, and I guess that's enough, you can't but like Morgan, he's got a kind art. I got knocked about on the Barbary Coast and my voice ain't so such mellifluous organ, but yet I can state, and I'm not one to boast, that some of the gals are dead keen on old Morgan. So if you have business with Faber or Faber, I'll give you this tip and it's worth a lot more. You'll save yourself time and you'll spare yourself labor if you'll just make friends with the cat at the door.
True words.
Excellent. So I guess since Stuart stepped out, it must be my turn again. So let me mute everybody. Well, last week I went to Paul's Song Circle in where are these things? Out of England, and someone did the Bob Dylan version of Corina Corina, which is very lovely guitar arrangement and a nice tune. But I thought that it put me in mind of the more better known blues versions as sung by Lightnin' Hopkins or Howlin' Wolf, which is quite different. Here it is. Where you been so long? Corina, Corina, you been so long. Ain't had no loving since you've been gone. Tell the world to do. I love Corina. Tell the world I do. Just a little more loving. Let your heart be true. where'd you stay last night? Corina, Corina, where'd you stay last night? You didn't come home, it was broad daylight. Corina, Corina, where you been so long? Corina, Corina, where you been so long? And had no loving since you've been gone. I met Corina way across the sea. I met Corina way across the sea. She wouldn't write me old letter, she don't care for me. Corina, Corina, where you been so long? Corina, Corina, where you been so long? Ain't had no loving since you've been gone. Corina. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Jim Turtelot, please. I'm going to mute everybody.
All right.
And we're ready for Jim.
I have to admit, I was wondering when I mentioned Walter Lowenfels before if I was turning out to mention yet another family friend of the Polacheks. But at any rate, I have just acquired this little volume here. I don't own many first editions except for recent books, but this is a first edition. It's a first edition of a book that came out 50 years ago called it is the short pieces written in his short life by Richard Farina. It's called Long Time Coming and a Long Time Gone, which alas he is. And one of the things in it is one of his better song lyrics. So I figured, what the hell? I'll sing Bold Marauder. It's hi ho hey, I am the bold marauder, and hi ho hey, I am the white destroyer, for I will buy you silver and gold, and I will bring you treasure, and I will bring a widowing flag, and I will be your lover, and I will show you grotto and cave and sacrificial altar, and I will show you blood on the stone, and I will be your mentor, and night will be our darling, and fear will be our name. It's hi ho hey, I am the bold marauder, and hi ho hey, I am the white destroyer, for I will take you out by the hand and lead you to the hunter, and I will show you thunder and steel, and I will be your teacher, and we will dress in helmet and sword, and dip our tongues in slaughter, and we will sing a warrior's song, and lift the praise of murder, and Christ will be our darling, and fear will be our name. It's hi-ho, hey, I am the bold marauder, and hi-ho, hey, I am the white destroyer, for I will sour the winds on high, and I will soil the river, and I will burn the grain in the field, and I will be your mother, and we will go to ravage and kill, and we will go to plunder, and I will take a fury to wife, and I will be your father, and death will be our darling, and fear will be our name.
Great.
Yeah, you know, when he and me used to play that on the dulcimer, I would think, what, that delicate little instrument and that fearsome song. Yeah, didn't sound like Gene Ritchie somehow. So, Dave Polachek's next on my list. If you will, please, Dave. I'm muting everyone. Ready for you.
Okay, so figured out the key to Darling Corey. So
We're gonna try that now.
Now, why is this acting so badly?
There, go ahead.
I don't know if I can unmute my little microphone up there. There we go.
Well, we see and hear you okay.
Hang on, guys.
You're looking good.
Did you undo your little...
You sound fine.
You're
Okay,
fine.
here we go. Now, is yours undone?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to try this again. Wake up, darling Corey. What makes you sleep so sound? Them revenue officers are coming for to tear your still house down. Wake up, darling Corey. Go fetch for me my gun. Lord, I ain't no man for trouble, but trouble just now begun. Well, the first time I seen darling Corey, she was sitting by the banks of the sea, with a 44 strapped around her, and a banjo on her knee. Dig a hole in the meadow, dig a hole in the cold, cold ground. Dig a hole in the meadow, going to lay darling Corey down. Go away, darling Corey. Quit hanging around my bed. Hard liquor has ruined my body. Pretty women has killed me most dead. Wake up, darling Corey. Go do the best you can. I've got me another woman, you can get you another man. Oh yes, my darling, I'll do the best I can. But I'll never take my pleasure with another gambling man. Don't you hear them bluebirds singing? Don't you hear that mournful sound? They're preaching Corey's funeral in some lonesome graveyard ground. Wake up, darling Corey, what makes you sleep so sound? Them revenue officers are coming, gonna tear your still house down.
Great. It's fine to hear that voice again. We
Oh,
missed you. Yes.
thank you.
So you guys want to do the double header here and take another song?
Yeah, Dave's
Okay.
gonna do one now.
All right, I'm muting.
And I just muted my little microphone on.
Okay, well, I'm muting everyone anyway here. So, Dave, you need to unmute.
Okay. This is an old song, but it deserves reviving every now and then. People do it, and then it kind of becomes old, and they stop doing it, and I think it's time to start doing it again. It was learned from the playing of a man named Clarence Ashley, who recorded it on a 78 record back in the 20s. And it was reissued by an eccentric fellow named Harry Smith on something called the Anthology of American Folk Music. It's an old song. It's called The Cuckoo. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, and she wobbles and flies, but she never sang cuckoo till the fourth day of July. I played cards in England, and I played cards in Spain. I'll bet you $10 that I'll beat you next game. I built me a log cabin on the mountain so high, so I can see Willie as he goes on by. Your parents, they are against me. They say I'm too poor. They say I'm not worthy for to enter your door. I money is my own. And if they don't like it, they can leave me alone. Now the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, but I wish she was mine. But she never sang cuckoo, but she always drank wine.
Very nice.
You know, the first time I ever heard Cuckoo was, it was also the first time I ever heard the band doing it, which was a little ensemble out of San Francisco called Big Brother and the Holding Company.
Yeah.
Oh,
we,
them.
we supported them in San Francisco at the I-Beam on Haight Street. And I walked out because I couldn't stand someone imitating Janis Joplin at a replacement singer 20 years after she was gone. But Big Brother, what a band.
Yes.
Well, this was with Janis singing it.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah, they were Janis's band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Where are we now? Let's see. It was Jim, Dave, and Jeff. Jeff Hall, have you got something for us?
Is he ever?
I'm going to mute everybody. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff, up to you.
So here I have a couple short poems that I am going to try and get published. Would you mind turning off the recording while I do these?
Okay, somebody will remind me to turn it back on again, okay? And here we go. Yes. And now it's time for Al Christians. I'm muting everybody and ready for you.
I got muted. I didn't sing Powder River here last time, did I? Powder River, let her buck a surging mass of cattle, round up wagons full of shuck, horns and hooves are right up. Steers and donkeys, beefs and broncs, heaving flanks a quiver. Hear the wranglers yip whoopee, we're bound for Powder River. Clouds of dust and ropes of whirl, stubborn broncs are standing. Delirium mavericks holding down every outfit running. Deep the mud and cold the rain, like the claps of thunder. Slicker's knife, a bucker is what he's crawling under. Let's see what happens. Loud the steers and heifers balls, no gates all the Romans. Stray set out for stomping grounds and headed for Wyoming. Bridles off for feeding grounds, horns and hooves a rattle. One eye open, half asleep, herding ornery cattle. Old Red Smith, a wagon cook, bacon, beans, liver. They're wild and they don't care a cuss. The boys from Powder River cook pots and pans, one you ornery guzzards. Come and get her, out she goes, I feed it to the buzzards. Herders left and herders right. Seven from to stand. No, what's going on? Herders left and herders right. Broncs and cutting horses. Sugans under starry skies. The wagons for the bosses. Oh, Chinook, good changing west. Angry bulls of blooming. Stark above the feeding grounds. The Rocky Mountains looming. Shaggy chaps and floppy hats, stogies all a quiver. Top screw shouting, spool your beds and home from Powder River. Circling riders singing low, zooming over the prairies. Heads a bulging, hear them shout, we're gonna see our Marys. Thundering hooves across the plains, sunburned hide and faces. Twisters spinning east and west, and cowboys running races. Scratch your broncs, you riding fools, a big rupee we give her. We're wild and woolly and full of fleas, we're the boys from Powder River. She's 1 mile wide and 1 inch deep, and she flows uphill from Texas.
Hee-haw! Hee-haw!
Yeehaw. Thank you. Thank you, Al. Tom is next on my list. I'm muting everyone. Tom's still with us, right? There he is, yeah.
Yep.
I'm muting everyone. Hold on. Hold your horses. All muted, ready for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm very grateful for David doing so much poetry and music. It really illumines but I need to update my folk wisdom cliches. Apparently, I mean, people haven't got the 100th monkey effect yet or the black swan theory. They haven't heard of Schrodinger's cats, but they still talk about the third eye of Lobsang Ranker, phlogiston, Elan Vital, orgone energies of Wilhelm Reich, theory of telogeny, theory of spontaneous generation, Neil Bohr's atomic theory, Sommerfield's electron theory, talking about Giovanni Schiaparelli's Martian channels, nuclear fusion, tabula rasa, the static stationary universe, gene theory, planet Vulcan. They still believe in flat Earth, luminous ether, crystallography, miasma, toothworm, calorific fluid theory, hollow Earth, preformatism, Lamarckism, Lysenkoism, vitalism, preformatism, Mendelian genetics, ontology, and phylogeny. They still believe in Newtonian gravity, contact tension, emitter theories, and the balance of nature. They don't know about catastrophe theory. They don't know about the Middle East and chaos theory. They say Neptunianism, Plutonianism, volcanism. They can't do the new paradigm shifts. For them, alchemy may have turned into chemistry and astrology may have turned to astronomy, and they may still sing about the four humours, but they don't sing about Australia's inland sea, the open polar sea, the polar sea, the Atlantis or the Lemuria. So we release all the alicorns, the alices, the coronium, the erotoxins, the nebulium, the polywater, the domains, seek no more universal panaceas, elixirs of life, otic forces, or philosopher's stones. Yet there are still on every newspaper, on every channel of the internet, numerologists, astrologers, psychic faith healers selling their wares, most of which are the province of history, mythology, and poetry. So when you come to poetry, you have to edit the future. With the Annotated Alice, the Bible according to Thomas Jefferson, the Book of Kells. So I follow with my annotations, scrawling messages to myself in the margins, underline, add asterisks, generally leave imprints where I animal traveled so that other hunters of the possible might find clear tracks. Some poets choose not to annotate. Susan Bright, Herman Nelson, John Berry. But I like books one has to read, then reread, then read again. Same with poems like this one, with totems and icons and symbols and significance for everyone. Koans for both now and later, Leonard Cohen. It took 600 years for Rumi to be read by Americans in translation. That Victorian edition of Edward Fitzgerald in 1859 of the Rubaiyat is only known to us largely by this specific translator. To me, Arthur Whaley disappointed with his Chinese poetry translations, but Gary Schneider's Coal Mountain versions ring like mountains in a chill air mist. We rely upon Robert Bly for our Rumi, but Robert does not speak Farsi, like Dylan Thomas did not speak Welsh. Failures in metaphorical translation do not stop Lamb's tales from Shakespeare just being dull prose and prosaic. Folk wisdom has power, depth, magic, and mystery, worthy of pilgrimage like sessions like this one. But poets, they're only buckets for the moon. Thanks for listening.
I had a question that came up when I was listening to Storm's recitation. I went to my rhyming dictionary to try to find what rhymes with calcium, and I couldn't find anything in there. Do you have one?
I'm a free verse poet. I'm a beat poet. I don't try to rhyme. It's no crime to rhyme, but you don't have to rhyme all of the time.
Halcyon. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Halcyon.
Halcyon.
Oh, halcyon.
Yeah, it's a half rhyme.
Well, maybe calcium rhymes with halcyon.
You can try barium, but that's not pleasant. Museum doesn't quite make it. Nauseum doesn't quite make it.
Yeah. Well, I see Marlene has joined us. There you are. We're going to move on to Mary Jane first, but we're glad to see you and have you with us, and I hope the situation is better. So, Mary Jane, I'm muting everyone already.
Okay, I'm going to do an original song this time. It's called Michael Martin, or Michael Martin's Sentence. I think most of us remember the story of Michael Martin, the guy that was imprisoned for a crime he did not commit for many, many years. Michael Martin and his wife Christine lived a typical Austin suburb scene. Their marriage was not the perfect one, but he was greatly protective of his son. But his life was clubbed with a heavy thud when Christine lay dead in a pool of blood. He was a prime suspect. The cops were certain. They focused their case on Michael Martin. Ken Anderson was the prosecutor, a district attorney, the straightest shooter, but he didn't do much to help the defense by suppressing crucial evidence. 25 years for a brutal murder in blood and tears of the woman he loved. He was undone, and it could have been witnessed by the eyes of his son. Michael was tried and they gave him life for the cruel killing of his wife. He did 25 years for this offense, but he always claimed his innocence. In 2011, they let him out for DNA tests proved without a doubt that Michael Martin was innocent. They apologized for what he underwent. 5 days in jail was all he saw. But Michael Morton, the tables turned, did not want to see Ken Anderson burn. He wants justice, accountability, to be gentle on his enemy. 25 years, 25 years, he's found reunion with one dear, his son, and now a new grandchild. Help keep his thoughts merciful and mild. 25 years, 25 years from vengeance now, away he steers. Forgiveness, his philosophy, he's thankful now just to be free. Forgiveness, his philosophy, he's thankful now just to be free.
An actual Austin murder ballad. That's something you don't hear every day. That's great. And it really is a ballad. It tells the whole story, too. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Oh, and I see there's Paul Clark. And good to see you. And we'll put you on the list. We're still going around our second turn here. And we're up to Storm. You got another one for us, Storm? I'm going to mute everybody. And you may unmute at will now.
I forgot to say last time that both of the pieces I did were original as they are this time. So they're copyrighted. Rural Lad. I was not a farm boy rising at 5 to milk and plow. Still I have known the smell of cows and barn, walked through chip-strewn pastures and scooped fresh cream from many a bottle's neck. I have watched sunlight dance in forest glades and fireflies excite the night, lain in grassy fields blowing music on a blade and cultivated figures in the clouds. I have learned the secret lairs of trout, of spotted fawns still wobbly from their birth, gathered clumps of frogs' eggs and watched a green chrysalis ringed with golden stars transform into a monarch in a jar. I have cleared the roads of snow, of mud, of storm debris, raked high the leaves of autumn and sledded pell-mell down ice-crusted hills. I have thrilled to oxen poles and felt the ache of muscles stiff from pitching hay. I have sat motionless by streams and hiked for miles undisturbed, following tracks of hare and doe and bear. I have interrupted skunks and raccoons on the porch and lain awake all night, gazing at stars, listening to fiddles, banjos, guitars, harmonicas, and songs. Now I return to all these in dreams. Though the city is my bed, it is the country that's my bones. All God's children gotta sing and shout. Sing a song in the morning. Breathe in air, then let it out. Oh, do it now. All God's children got to start to pray. Pray for peace in the morning. Search for light in every day. Oh, do it now. All God's children gotta do a dance. Dance for joy in the morning. Shake their feet and take a chance. Oh, do it now. All God's children got to know to cry. Cry sometimes in the morning. Feel with people, view the sky. Oh, do it now. All God's children got to learn to laugh. Laugh with love in the morning. Follow a steep and windy path. Oh, do it now. All God's children got to sing and shout. Sing a song in the morning. Breathe in air, then let it out. Oh, do it now. Oh, do it now. Oh, do it now.
Oh, thank you so much for that. That's great. Okay. So, and now we have Marlene. You got something for us, Marlene? I'm going to mute and we'll find out, I guess.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it works.
Uh-huh. You're just okay. Anytime you want to. Oh, now you need to unmute again. Sorry. Can you? There you go.
Okay, yes.
We got
Leonard Cohen, Like a Bird on the Wire. I'm going to do the Hebrew translation this Thursday for my Hebrew song group. Okay. Like a bird on the wire, like a drunk in a midnight choir, I have tried in my way to be free. Like a worm on a hook, like a knight from some old-fashioned book, I have saved all my ribbons for thee. If I have been unkind, I hope that you can just let it go by. If I have been untrue, I hope you know it was never to you. For like a babe stillborn, like a beast with his horn, I have torn every one who reached out for me. But I swear by this song, and by all that I have done wrong, I will make it all up to thee. I saw a beggar leaning on his wooden crutch. He said to me, you must not ask for so much. And a pretty woman leaning in her darkened door, she cried to me, hey, why not ask for more? Like a bird on the wire, like a drunk in a midnight choir, I have tried in my way to be free. Anybody can explain what he said here, but okay. Kind of deep.
Sorry I was called away for a moment, but what I heard was lovely. Thank you, Marlene. Are we around to Paul? Do you have a song for us?
Okay.
I'm muting everyone. All ready for Paul.
Okay, this is possibly in a bit of a different mode, except it is about being drunk. Down at the Black Swan, we'll go sing our love song. We'll sit, we'll booze, we've got nothing to lose. We've lost it all, lost it all. Down at the Black Swan, we'll drink hard, we'll drink strong, drink deep, drink long, drink our heads off, drink on. Now that she's gone, now she's gone. Pour us another pint, one more pint, landlord, of your very, very best bitter beer. We'll be here all night. We're on a bender, we're tanking up. We don't care, we don't go home tonight. There's nobody there. Now that she's gone, now she's gone, now that she's gone. Go to bed early, girl, go with a book, go alone, go easy, your life is your own. Don't lose it all, lose it all. Think on me kindly, but don't come and find me. I'm lost, I've lost heart, and eyes are both crossed. Now that she's gone, now she's gone. Pour us another pint, one more pint, landlord, of your very, very best bitter beer. We'll be here all night. We've had a skinful, we've supped some stuff. We don't care, we don't go home tonight. There's nobody there. Now that she's gone, now she's gone, we'll be down at the Swan.
Oh, Paul, that's melancholy, beautiful.
Sad but sweet. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
it's delightful.
By Jake Thackeray, who's a noted kind of poet songwriter, has it, lyric heavy songwriter with unusual tunes and things. And I learned perhaps yesterday, the day before, somebody from Yorkshire, where he came from, mentioned a pub called the Black Swan up that way. So it may be about a real one.
Yep. How's that stink?
So now we've come to that time when we ask. I'm sorry, did somebody say something? Well, we're asking for encores now. Would anyone like to offer an encore?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
I'm muting everyone and turning it over to Tom. Hold on. Already, Tom.
Okay, some good news. You really don't have to believe in anyone or anything, neither folk nor music. Here's these. Everybody seems to believe in something. I'm Didymus, must put my wound in the hand to believe in Padre Pio. Transformation of beliefs can only happen with epiphanies like this. Saul on the road to Damascus, someone waiting for a new folk song, Lourdes, Fatima, Medjugorje, all claiming miracles, resulting in the sale of Lourdes water drops in a pendant for $135 plus postage. Now, I'm not a cynic, staining all beliefs with sarcasm. I am not also naive. I know idealists are suckered by faith healers every night. I have no faith in science per se, just a trust in inquiry, scientific method, and song lyrics. I like good example and astonishing human beings, those exemplars of kindness, compassion, and goodwill. And if anything has my following, it's those intrinsic examples of decency and humane qualities I find in friends, allies, companions, and sometimes in imperfect strangers. I don't know much about the past. Too many corrupted saints litter the liturgical calendars. Far too many kings, president, leaders are villains, liars, and thieves in the temple. Same for pastors, priests, and people claiming perfection. I prefer Voltaire and Villon. Prefer culture to propaganda. Prefer individuals to corporations. This is just a scale of preferences, not a belief system. At the end of my life, I'd be happy to have honored every moment with those who do not agree with a single word of my poetry, because I have no God, so I must pray to yours, largely to stop doing what you're doing. Mars, stop all wars. Vulcan and Pele, stop volcanic eruptions. Lethe, stop this forgetfulness. Buddha, stop being so detached from this. If gods are responsible for our creation, they also are responsible for destruction. I'm talking to you, Shiva. I'm talking to you, Kali. Stop your knife-wielding assassinations. I want no more burning Buddhist priests, no self-immolation on this COVID in India. Bill Hicks says Jesus is coming back with an Uzi. He dislikes your crucifix memories. And that Bible, Apocrypha, Armageddon, all those bad religious movies, Reader's Digest, and no comedian worth worshipping. For every Socrates, Voltaire, Shakespeare, Buster Keaton, George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, Jordan Peele, Keegan-Michael Key, Tina Fey, you have a Bill Cosby, a Woody Allen, a Louis C.K. Black. For every SNL sketch artist, you have Trevor Noah, Stephen Colbert, Samantha Bee, Jimmy Kimmel, and Seth Meyers, listened to and adored by millions every night. So I turn my TV off. I write new poetry, and I respect you for listening to this. Thanks and good night.
Really nice.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Really nice, Tom.
I think we have other encores in the queue here. Marlene has one, and I think Paul has one, and and Storm has one. We'll just keep going, you know.
Yes,
no problem with that. So but we'll go to Marlene next. I'm muting everyone. Up to you, Marlene.
Since it's poetry hour, I see, I'll do a poem of mine, singing, about the songs that I sing weekly Hebrew song Zoom. I sing songs of the olden ways, the desolate quiet of pioneer days. I sing of sweet solitude, the bleep of sheep, a shepherd's tune. I sing of fortitude, malaria swamp and desert plain, mountains echoing thunder and rain. Homes were built brick by brick, an olive sandwich with bread cut thick, a temple dopey hat for the sun, milk the goats and shear the sheep. When the stars come out, you go to sleep, or join the girls you meet who love to dance, but very choosy which boy deserves a chance. We mouth the words of ancient texts, the romantic tales of Holy Writ. May God protect the land we live and keep us safe from wolves and threat of man. As our soul pours out in words of song, we sing in crowds, our voices strong, around the fire, on the beach. The waves heave rhythmically, ebb and flow, perfectly timed to the beat. The stars and moon are in tune. Good night, sweet friends. We'll see you soon. It's in the latest newsletter of Voices Israel, this one, or last month's.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Marlene. And I think we have another from Paul. I'll mute everyone. Ready for Paul.
Okay, this is called The Swallow by Steve Rotherow. I'm not trying to do a bird theme here in having two songs in succession with birds in. Morning dawns on the stubble fields, and the fires have all died away, and like a migrant bird you took your leave and went away. And if some yearning brings you back, then we might meet again, and in the summer days we'll fly and our fears will be in vain. In the morning you're gone, and you cover the miles like the swallow, our fair weather friend. Leave us to our winters like the robin and the wren. Long ago, or so they say, when Queen Liza held the throne, she said the world has many riches, let us take them for our own. These isles we love, they are too small, and my people too many by far. Go and find for me some other land, show what a brave nation we are. In the morning you're gone, and you cover the miles like the swallow, our fair weather friend. Leave us to our winters like the robin and the wren. There are English folk in America, there are Scots in Van Diemen's Land, the Irish or Welsh are now all round the world, scattered like grains of sand. But what becomes of the ones who stay while their sons and their daughters roam? What becomes of their children born who never see their home? In the morning you're gone, and you cover the miles like the swallow, our fair weather friend. Leave us to our winters like the robin and the wren. In the morning you're gone, and you cover the miles like the swallow, our fair weather friend. Leave us to our winters like the robin and the wren.
Paul, that's wonderful. It's so evocative. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, quite beautiful.
Thank you for that.
And okay, lest I lose track, I think Dave had another one. Oh, Storm. Let's have Storm next. I think he's got another one. I'm going to mute everybody, so hold on. And now you may unmute yourself again.
Okay, this time the poem is mine, but the song is not mine. With Willie from the country and Tommy from the town, I used to play when I was young until the sun went down. We'd play of pirates bold and of villains black, yet when I would die, I'd get my life right back. With strange brews and medicines, they'd fix me fine as new. The only wounds I got from playing war were but a scratch or two. Yet I've grown older now, and now I fought with men. But still I wish that it weren't so, and I was back to then. No medicine for him in pain, no magic touch to pull the bullet from the thigh. Alone upon this darker land, I'll in this moment die. What if, no matter how angry he was, how outraged they were, how furious she was? What if, no matter how angry he was, he couldn't lay hands on a gun? He couldn't lay hands on a gun. What if, no matter how right he was, how wrong they were, how evil they were? What if, no matter how right she was, she couldn't lay hands on a gun? she couldn't lay hands on a gun. No rifle, no shotgun, no pistol in sight, no revolvers, automatics, no assault guns tonight, no clips crammed with bullets anywhere to be found, no weapons just laying around. What if, no matter how outraged he was, how furious she was, how murderous they were, what if, no matter how outraged they were, they couldn't lay hands on a gun? They couldn't lay hands on a gun. If he dug through his Chevy, the backseat, the trunk, the attics, the basement, piles of old junk, came up empty-handed again and again, tell me what would he do then? What if, no matter how angry he was, how outraged she was, how furious they were, what if, no matter how angry he was, we couldn't lay hands on a gun? We couldn't lay hands on a gun. Tom Paxton. He uses he through the whole thing, so I just changed it up to make it more appropriate.
Yeah, good message for us. Boy, we, don't get me started. We live in Texas, where the governor wants to make it a sanctuary state for guns. It boggles the mind. Okay, Dave, you got another song for us?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm muting everybody. Ready.
This is one of my favorite labor songs, and I learned it from a recording of Bob Davenport. It's called Keep That Wheel A-Turning. It's got a great chorus if you want to sing along. It goes, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. Got it? Good. A nice young man was William Brown, worked for a wage in a Yorkshire town, turned the wheel from left to right, from early dawn till late at night. Keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. The boss one day to William came, said, look here, young, what's your name? Far from pleased with what you do, hurry that wheel or out you go. Keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. So William turned and he made it run 3 times round in place of 1. Turned so well he was quickly made Lord High Turner of his trade. Keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. Now William turned with a sunny smile, the goods they grew to such a pile, filled the room and the room next door overflowed to the basement floor. Keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. The nation thrilled to the wondrous tale, news appeared in the sketch in the mail. Railways brought excursions down, all for to gaze on William Brown. Keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. But sad the sequel now is to tell, he made more goods than the boss could sell. Prices fell and the market crashed. 7 more days and he got the bash. Wheels that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. But sad the sequel now is to tell, he made more goods than the boss could sell. Market fell and the price went down. 7 more days and the sack came round. Keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, keep that wheel a-turning, and do a little more each day. Let that be a lesson to you.
Is this Sunday
Yes,
yet?
indeed. Okay, anybody else? Any more encores? Marlene has her hand up. We'll go to Marlene. I'm going to mute everybody. Okay.
Facebook Auld Lang Syne. Should all Facebook friends be forgot and never come to meet? Should all Facebook friends not be sought, although they live down the street? If my Facebook friends appear in my dreams as we share a coffee or tea, should we make my dream a reality and meet in some exotic country? No freezing snows nor jungle heat, but a climb not too extreme, where we can join amicably as a group of friends with some B&B hospitality. At some future date, we can calibrate a time with no holy holiday, a time when we're all completely immunized. Hugs and kisses will be allowed again, but for now, we can only dream and hope that the time soon will be when we'll sing the tune of peace and liberty and mankind's liberty. Okay, the ending was ad-libbed here. Okay. Right.
Young Terry, I got one more if you're up for it.
I think this must mean it's time for me to sing my goodbye song.
Looks like it.
All right, here we go. Whoops. Lost my capo. Goodbye, capo. There it is.
I put info about the People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle in the chat. We have a online presence ongoing, and we have a big summer convergence coming up the first weekend in June. If anyone doesn't know, if you want to save the chat, if you can see down at the bottom where it says everyone and then file, and there are 3 little dots. If you click on those 3 dots, you will see the word save chat. And if you click on save chat, it will save chat to the entire chat to your computer as a document.
There you go. And we'll put it somewhere so people can find it. Anyway. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet till we meet again. Sorry. Some trails are happy ones, the other trails are blue. It's the way you rhyme the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together. Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Okay. Goodbye. See you all again soon.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Storm.